Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to talk to you about Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. I know it's been a while. I was going to make a video talking about it, but honestly I don't think that's the type of videos that I want to film, so I'm just going to jump right into this video, which is about this book. Mine is in Portuguese, and I just want to let you know that this is not a book review as such, so I might spoil something, so you've been warned. I just want to talk about this book for the first part of this video, and then I want to talk about something else, and I'm going to use this book as an example. So this is a collection of short stories. There are 7 short stories in this book, and I really wanted to read short stories by Murakami because I really love his novels, and I know that sometimes it's kind of hard for, you know, an author to write really good novels and really good short stories. Sometimes the short stories are not that good, or an author who usually writes short stories can't really do the same with a novel, if that makes any sense. I was really happy with this collection. I know that he has others, but this one was published in 2013. Yes. So I'm not sure if this is the most recent one, but at the time when I was checking it, I was like, yeah, I really want to read Men Without Women because I'm really curious about the title. I'm not going to say that I loved all 7 short stories. I really liked 3. One of them, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. The other one, there was one that the premise was really interesting, but other than that, there wasn't a lot to it, and the ending was kind of flat. And then there were 2 that I really didn't like. So I'm not going to go into detail because it's not that type of video, but I just wanted to say that I haven't read all of his books, so I'm not sure if you should start with this one, if you should start with, like, for example, I would say don't start with 1Q84 because no, but maybe this one, I don't know if it would be a good place to start. I mean, if anybody out there who's watching this video has read all of his books, including the short stories, maybe they'll be able to explain or, you know, just share what they think. The magic realism factor is so subtle in these short stories that it's not really, in your face. And sometimes people don't really, they don't really like magic realism. And then, I don't know, if they read 1Q84, most people probably, you either love it or you hate it. And so in these stories, you don't get a lot of the magic realism factor, so I think that's a plus. So you start slowly getting used to Murakami's writing and his universe, and I think it's, I don't know, a good way for you to process what you're about to get yourself into, because sometimes it's a bit confusing, just a little bit. There's a woman watching me. I mean, don't you have places to go, people to see? The writing was really elegant. It was refreshing to see how Murakami was able to grasp the reader's attention and, keep them interested. I wanted to continue reading. Like I said, there were 2 short stories in this collection that I wasn't a fan, but I still wanted to finish them. I still wanted to continue reading and see what the ending was going to tell me, if it was going to answer my questions or not, which in most cases it doesn't. But still, I wanted to make sure. One thing that I really liked, and again, I'm not sure if this is a spoiler or not, I mean, you be the judge of that, so you've been warned, is that Murakami set a lot of these stories, like at least 3, in the same universe. And that's actually new for him, because he wakes up with amazing, fantastic universes in his head, and then all of a sudden, oh no, let me write 3 stories within the same universe. And you can't really tell unless you are paying attention to details. So it's not like characters, from other stories appear and they cross paths or anything like that. It's really like very, very small. They seem like they're not significant, but they are. And those details are that thing, that hook that tells you it's the same bar, it's the same city. The stories are happening at the same time. So it's so amazing. And I think that's actually new for him, because I was expecting for each short story, to be completely different from the other, set in a completely different universe, with completely different rules, I don't know. And no, it's actually really mundane, and it's just really more about the people, the way they conduct themselves, the way they perceive each other. So for that, like, good. What was that? Alfredo is just running around. I just got home, so he's like really excited and at the same time kind of annoyed that I'm not playing with him. But anyway, now what I really wanted to talk about in this video is about something else, actually. So I wanted to read this book because I wanted to read short stories by Murakami, and this book in particular because of the title, Men Without Women. And I'm like, what does that mean? I want to check the short stories because I guess that they're going to, give me hints and make me think about the subject. I have like a lot of notes. I don't know if you can see them. I write a lot when I'm reading his stories because there's just so much to remember sometimes. And something that struck me was like, I started reading the first page, and again, spoiler if you think this is a spoiler or not, I mean, it's the first page. And the short story is Drive My Car. And in the this is the first page, and the character is already categorizing women according to their driving. Like, there are two types of women: the ones who drive like this and the ones who drive like that. And I only had to read the first page to be like, okay, this is gonna be so controversial. I'm so ready to like finish this and then check Goodreads reviews, because I guess that people didn't give this book a shot. And guess what? They didn't. I read the entire book without, reading any... I didn't read any reviews, like Goodreads reviews. I didn't watch any YouTube videos about this book. I wanted to, everything that I was going through, like the process of going through these short stories, to be my own. Like, I didn't want to be influenced by anybody or anything. And good thing that I did that. So I went to my Goodreads account, which I'm not really using at the moment. Like, I'm using it, but I'm not really using it. Like, I forget to update my Goodreads account all the time. And I checked this book. I'm not sure if I read all the reviews, but oh my god. Most of them were like, Murakami is a misogynist, sexist pig. Murakami hates women. Murakami feels like he's superior to women, like men are superior to women. And how could this book be published in 2013? I didn't even finish the book because it offended me. Okay. This is fiction. You do know what that means, right? It's fiction. First of all, I don't know Murakami, but I'm gonna go, on a limb here and guess that maybe he doesn't really think that women are inferior to men. Maybe he's trying to tell you something, and you have to read the book and reflect on what you read to get there. And then I'm not saying that, oh, I got it and you didn't, but I gave this book a shot. I read it. I can talk about it. If you didn't finish the book and you couldn't even finish the first story because it offended you, how? You're not talking about you. You're not the character from the book. Like, you're not the character from the story. This has nothing to do with you. Why are you offended? And that just got me thinking how quickly we jump to conclusions and we just let each other get influenced by reviews by these people who like books, but we don't know who these people are. They don't know us. They don't know my preferences. Maybe I want to read this book and judge for myself. But a lot of people are just like, oh no, the reviews are so bad, I'm not going to read it. That's not good. That's not good at all. There's this really popular, I'm saying really popular, I mean, he has, I'm going to say thousands of followers, I'm not sure how many, and I'm not going to say his name because I'm not here to like start something, but I'm gonna use him as an example. Like there's this YouTuber, like booktuber person, and he basically, it's my opinion, but I basically think he reads Murakami so he can trash Murakami. Does that make sense? Which I actually respect. At least he read the book, but at the same time, it feels like he's reading the books and trying to find excuses to hate the books, you know? Trying to find every little detail, every little thing that he didn't like, and just talk about it like it's a major thing, and it's not. So I went, obviously, to his channel and I checked if he had a review for this book, and he did. And Alfredo is right next to the camera. Please be careful. Come here. Come to mama. You wanna play? Yes, you wanna play? You wanna play? Say hello. Say hello to the camera. Yeah. I'll play with you in a little bit. Give me just a second. So I went to his channel and I checked. He had a video for this book. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. I'm going to get upset, but I'm gonna watch it. Obviously, I got upset. Like, he basically said everything that people were saying on Goodreads, like Murakami doesn't know anything about women and he hates women and whatever. It's fiction. There is a purpose. There is a reason why Murakami wrote about women the way he did. This is not just refreshing because thank you so much for talking about women who are actually manipulative and just horrible to each other. I'm trying not to swear. Because sometimes people are so scared of the politically correct that they don't go further, you know, they don't explore the theme. And the women in these short stories, they're not all like horrible, but some of them are just like so rude. They have this sense of superiority. They think they know everything, that they're manipulative. They don't care about anyone's feelings. And thank you so much for writing about women in this fashion, because I don't think that people realize that, yes, women can be really mean too. But that was not the point. That was like my first idea. Okay, so he's trying to make a point about that. No. To me, this is a commentary on today's society, on how men still have these very outdated, stereotypical ideas about women. There's a passage here, spoiler, and it happens on one of the stories that I really, really liked. And this guy is talking about this doctor that, you know, he died because he was heartbroken, and he's talking about him with another guy that, you know, they were friends. They knew this third person who died. They knew the doctor, and he's telling him that, oh my god, he looked so bad, like towards the end he was not himself at all. The doctor actually said he was suffering from anorexia, which is so weird because anorexia only affects women, right? I mean, it's because of their image that they become sick. Yes, it's cringy. It's supposed to make you feel something. It's supposed to make you reflect. That doesn't mean that Murakami actually thinks that anorexia only affects women. That doesn't mean that. It means that maybe there are some men in our society that still have these very stereotypical and outdated ideas about women, and it's calling attention to it. That's it. It's a social commentary. And I was so surprised to know that people didn't give this book a chance because they felt offended. Offended about what? First of all, there are women like this, you know. There are women like the ones he describes here. I mean, let's just face it. And then, second of all, this is not a diary. This is not non-fiction. This is fiction. And there's a reason why fiction sometimes is really hard to understand, because it's supposed to make you feel something. You're supposed to reflect on it. You're supposed to think, you know. beyond the story. What does he mean? Why did he write that? Why did he decide to use women to make a point? You have to look at it from that point of view, not just like, oh my God, he's so offensive. Ew. Don't do that, please. And that was my whole idea about this video. But then, just a few days ago, this person that I follow on Instagram, and I don't remember if it was an image or a story, I don't remember, but there was this book, this person posted a photo of the book, and she either said, I don't remember if she was talking, if it was an Insta story or if it was in the description, but she basically said that she bought the book because someone recommended that book to her, and plus she checked the Goodreads overall score. Oh my God, don't do that. Don't do that. Do not check Goodreads score. I actually thought that the Goodreads score was more like for me to reflect on the book and decide what I think, you know, on from 1 to 5, what I think the book actually, where the book is. But I never actually, you know, stopped to think, oh my God, people actually check this. Like now I'm considering stopping, like I'm considering not doing that anymore, not reading books anymore, because I'm really scared that I might be influencing someone. If you check the overall score, you're not going to read this book. If you check the reviews on Goodreads, you're not going to read this book, because they are trying to influence you, saying that, to me, this book is horrible, Murakami is a horrible person, oh my God, who published this in 2013, this is so wrong. But these people didn't really read the book, you know what I mean? They didn't read the book, most of them. They didn't, if they did, they didn't look at it from the right angle. They didn't reflect on it. They didn't think about the subject. And that's just so scary to know that some people actually check Goodreads scores before they buy the books. I never do that. Like the only thing that I might do is check if I'm not sure about the plot. Like I want to read the summary, like to have an idea about the book. So I just have, I don't know, a starting point. I might check Goodreads because I think that, I don't know, I think Wikipedia is not a good idea. So I check Goodreads, but that's the only thing. Like I never scroll down. I never check the reviews. I never check the score. Like I don't care. I want to judge for myself. If you read a review and you check the score, you are being influenced. Even if you think you're not, you are. And so I'm urging you, do not check the score. Just read books, you know, I don't care what, but just read because it's always good for you. Think about what you're reading. And if the book is really, really cringy, I mean, if you read the book and reflect on it and you still say, okay, but I still didn't like the way he did it, totally fine. Okay, but at least you gave it a shot. Now, if you just tell me, oh no, I hated this book, I didn't even finish it, and Murakami is a horrible sexist person, then I actually am going to question if you know what, do you know what fiction is? Do you know what fiction is supposed to do? I mean, I can believe that some people actually think for a moment that, oh no, these are Murakami's thoughts, this is how he feels. I don't know if he feels like that or not, I don't know him, but I'm going to go on a limb here and say that he doesn't feel like that. He's an author, highly acclaimed author, and he actually thrives when he comments on today's society and on society's ways nowadays. So yeah, give the book a chance, guys. I mean, I loved it. I'm going to tell you my favorite stories. So I really liked Yesterday, Kino, and this, I'm sorry, but this one is in Portuguese. For some reason, 2 of the titles are in English. This is a Portuguese edition, and I forgot to check, but it's the one with the doctor. You'll know. Something with an organ, I don't know. Samsa was the one that I thought it had a really interesting premise because it's a play on Kafka's Metamorphosis. And I was like, oh, an insect wakes up as a man. I thought it was amazing. I was so happy, and the story is not bad, but the end, I mean, I was expecting more. I'm used to, like, I have read a lot of Murakami, so I'm used to have a lot of questions when I reach the end, and I'm used not getting my Alfredo. I know that I'm not going to get all the answers that I need, but this time it wasn't really that, just it felt like really flat. I wasn't a fan of Men Without Women, actually. I just didn't, I don't know, I didn't like it that much. And Sherazad was really the one that I really didn't like. Drive My Car, man, it wasn't horrible, like I liked the story, but it wasn't like one of my favorites. Kino and Yesterday and the one with the doctor that I don't know the name in Portuguese, in English, I don't know if it's the title that they have here translated into English is An Independent Organ. I'm not sure if that's what they mean, but I don't know if they translate it like that in English, but you'll know when you start reading it. So yeah, moral of the story, I was really happy with my decision not to check Goodreads or anything else before I read this. And you might be wondering, what, but you don't read reviews about books that you actually want to read? No, yeah, I do, but I read them from like The Guardian or The Independent or something like that. I don't go on YouTube or on Goodreads to check the reviews. They either love the author or they trash the author, and like that's fine, but I don't want those opinions to influence mine. Hello? Okay, so we have a guest. Yeah, he's getting so big, right? He's 7 months old now. And he's super lovely and cute and just everything. So much love. Yes, I love you too. So guys, that's it for today. Like I said, this is not a review. I really didn't talk about all the stories here or anything like that. Like I didn't talk about any of the stories other than Samsa, because I just thought the idea was really interesting, because that was not the point of this video. But at the same time, I wanted to use this book as an example because I was really shocked. I told my mom, I was like, I just finished this book, and she was like, did you like it? Because she gave it to me. And I was like, yes, I actually really enjoyed it. I have a lot to say about it. I might film a video, like a real review, talking about the stories, but that was not the idea behind this video. And then I told her, like, I checked Goodreads and YouTube and whatever, and she was like, really? Yeah, this happened. So my mom doesn't know Murakami, and she said, well, but I thought he was like super famous and highly acclaimed author and whatever. It's like, and he is, but like for some reason people, I don't know, they just didn't even try to finish the book and just reflect. There's a purpose. I'm not saying that, oh, I cracked it, I know what Murakami was trying to do with this book. I'm not saying that. This is just my theory. I think this is a commentary on how men today still have outdated stereotypical ideas about women. But that's my theory. But what I'm saying is, I give it a shot, and I'm not going to lie. Some passages here made me cringe because the writing was so raw and amazing, but raw, and it's so, so confrontational that I couldn't help but cringe a little bit. But I felt a little bit uncomfortable, but power through it, because there's a reason for it, I'm sure. Obviously, I don't know, maybe people read this book and they had a completely different idea, and that's fine. And I'm not saying that I loved it. Like I said, I really liked 3 of the short stories. There's 7, so it's not like this book was perfect, but I really liked the idea of commenting through different characters' perspectives on what men actually think about women. Some men, obviously, because not all men are evil. That's a good lesson that you should take home. For some reason, I think Alfred is here. He likes to go into my bookcase. So that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with a video about, I can probably show you because this is definitely going to be my next video. I'm going to film a video about this book, How Far You Fall by Jane Schmidt. So, and that's my next video for sure. So stay tuned. And I just wanted to say thank you to all my subscribers. Like, I got 100 subscribers out of the blue, and I'm like, yay! You know, so thank you so much for watching. Maybe for some people that's not really an accomplishment, but for me it is. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and you keep watching. So I'll see you on my next one. Bye!